Hey, goddesses and gods, how are you this morning? It is early. I've been up since 4 a.m. I have done my yoga, my meditation. Yep. I've spoken to with and checked in with myself, my spiritual body, my mental body, my emotional body, my physical body. I've tapped in and did a wellness check on all of them because yesterday I definitely took a wellness day. Hey, to Shy Spa Wellness, Diamond Love Nails. Yes, welcome and happy new day. Happy new day. I wanted to come in and speak a little bit about healing in processing pain. Many of us are in relationships where we are trauma bonding. And let me say something. Trauma bonding is more common than not. Trauma bonding is more common than not. Why? Because trauma bonding, what it does is it validates our pain. It validates how we are feeling. Many of us don't know we're in relationships that have come together due to trauma bonding. Because think about it, when you meet someone, you start expressing, your joys, your happiness, your woes, your positives, your not so positives. You start sharing these different experiences that you're having, and then you come to find out that, oh wow, this person has felt like you, or this person has been through a similar experience like you, right? So there's an instant connection happening there. An instant connection. And depending on where you are and where that person is in the spectrum of their healing from that trauma depends on if you will increase in your healing with that trauma that you both share, or you're both connected to, right? Because you both had separate experiences at some point in your life and it was similar traumas. So both of you are validating each other's feelings concerning the traumatic experience, right? So that's the connection. So based on where you are on the spectrum of your healing, because remember, healing is like a stair step. Consciousness is like a staircase. So depending on where you are, some people might be on stair 15. Some people may be on stair 25, 35. Some people may just still be on stair 2. So even though you've connected with this person concerning this traumatic experience that you've shared and that they may have shared, that's the connection, right? Even though you've connected with that person, you are on different levels of your healing process. So depending on which level you're on, one is either going to bring you up and increase your healing in that area of trauma, or the person is going to bring you down in that area of your trauma. This usually happens in love relationships, romantic relationships. If you've bonded with a brother or a sister and they share that same experience of trauma, whether it was sexual abuse, whether it was domestic violence, whether it was physical abuse, whether it was addictions, depending on what that trauma is, wherever that person is on their level of healing, one person will either increase their level of healing by helping them to go into different modalities of healing their mind, body, and spirit, healing their emotional space, physical space, spiritual well-being, mental well-being. Or there's going to be the person in their stronghold in the relationship is going to bring them down to where they may have risen up out of the pit of that healing of that trauma. They might have risen up out of it, but now they feel themselves going back into it. So many times we're in these relationships, okay, that we get to a certain point and there's nowhere else to go with that person. As much as we love them, as much as we desire to be with them, as much as we truly want to be loyal and share this earthly experience with them, a separation needs to happen, because now you have to become independent in your healing experience. Please understand that. It does not mean that there's a lack of love that you have for that person. It just means that you're at this state where you're stagnant, and you can neither go any higher in your healing and your blessing, and you've already went a little lower because you're trying to bring that person up to where you are, or you may be the one in the low state of the healing, to where you're pulling that person back down with you because you're resistant to change. You're resistant to do your healing work, right? And that's where a lot of relationships come into a serious challenge and dilemma, because the other one does not want to make the changes. Okay? So how do we go about change? You have to make a conscious decision if you want to stay or if you want to leave. If you are the most significant and most important person in your life, you have to become the most significant and important person in your life in order to make a move. And you have to sit down and have a straight up conversation with the person. I love you. It is not a lack of love, but I can no longer do this because I'm going in a different direction in my development. Okay, I don't want you to feel abandoned. And a lot of times that's what's going to happen. There's already abandonment issues. That may be part of the trauma bonding. Both of you have been abandoned in areas in your life and have experienced abuse with the abandonment, right? That could be it. So here you come. Now they feel like you are part of the problem now. See, before they was dependent on your energy. They was dependent on your love. They was dependent on your resources. They was dependent on your healing because it made them feel good. But it only made them feel better. But that's all it was going to do, because if they're not doing the work, that's all they're going to do is have some feel good moments. You know, they're not going to necessarily do the shift, but you're making the shift. And then that's where you have to shift outside of the relationship to continue to seek your healing and your happiness. So most importantly, you need to take it to the Most High and to your spirit team and ask them to help you create a plan of navigation that will be less painful for the person that you may be leaving, and also bring you more health, healing, and joy, so that when that person is ready to come up to that stair that you are on, they can definitely share in that experience with you, and then you can help them then. But only until you help yourself, right? Know thyself. Accept thyself. Very, very important. Knowing thyself and accepting thyself and being true to yourself and understanding when it's time that you have to make this all about you. And it's okay. It's okay. If they are truly on a path of healing and peace, they'll get through it and they'll understand at some point. But if they are truly not evolving in their healing work, then they may never get it. And guess what? That's okay too, because you have to answer to your spiritual team. You have to answer to your most high consciousness. You have to answer to your God, not to the person, right? All right. I'm glad I can come here and bring this message to you that was given to me by the mothers. And I appreciate all of your love and support. If you get some time, go over to Love My Womb Academy and watch our video that we did on this Sunday. We had the temple doors were open of the Coochie Church, and we spoke about the year of the dragon, which we are in the year of the dragon 2024 in Chinese New Year, and that's bringing a lot of change and evolution to humanity and the consciousness as well as the earth. So go check that out. It is the year of the dragon. Love My Womb Academy. I appreciate all your love and support, and I'm grateful for you. Peace and blessings.